Breaking tonight, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton wrap evening rallies in critical battleground states. Hello and welcome to Justice. I'm Kimberly Guilfoyle in for Judge Jeanine Pirro. Thanks for being with us tonight. Now, Mr. Trump speaking to a crowd in Naples, Florida, as most polls show him trailing in the all-important Sunshine State. At about the same time, Hillary Clinton rallied supporters in another key and close state, North Carolina. We have an all-star group of guests tonight standing by, including Donald Trump's son, Eric, Dr. Ben Carson, and Geraldo Rivera. But let's begin by hearing from the candidates.
I stood next to Donald Trump in 3 debates for 4.5 hours. I think that proves I have the stamina to be president.
Hillary Clinton's foreign policy has squandered trillions of American wealth overseas. Yet for all the money spent, all Clinton delivered was death, destruction, and terrorism all over the world.
And joining me now, the Executive Vice President of the Trump Organization and the son of Donald J. Trump, Eric Trump. Eric, thanks for being with us tonight. That's fantastic. So your father's so busy. Every time I look up at the screen, he's in another state. He's working hard, campaigning. He's had a huge weekend for sure, especially with this contract for America. So he's in Florida now. This is a key, important state. It's integral to the success to take the Oval, to take the White House. How do you feel that you're doing there now, the momentum? Because he was there today hitting it hard.
First of all, I love the man. I mean, the energy he has is unbelievable. I mean, he's got more energy than a person I know, including friends of mine my age. I mean, the guy's all over the place. He's in Florida, he's in North Carolina, he's in Ohio, he's in, Las Vegas. I mean, he's everywhere. I mean, he's just everywhere. The guy is incredible. But listen, I feel great. I feel really, really good about it. And I see it on the ground, right? I probably drove through Ohio. I probably did 500 miles in Ohio 2 days ago. And I couldn't go 500 yards without seeing another massive Trump lawn sign. I mean, it's really incredible. I mean, it's a movement. It's not a campaign. It's a movement. And you see the love on the ground. I'll have a rally, and I'll have 500,000 people in there, and I'm not a candidate. I'm a total civilian in this process. I mean, the amount of enthusiasm that there is on the ground for this whole thing is incredible. And people want somebody from outside of government. People are sick of our politicians. They're all talk, no action. They get nothing done. They haven't accomplished anything. You look at the state of our country. It's a total mess. They want somebody, they want an outsider, and, they want somebody who speaks our language, and that's what my father does. And accountability
in Washington, one of my favorite phrases that your team uses is, drain the swamp. Like, get out the bad guys in Washington, D.C., the corrupt politicians, and bring in somebody that actually wants to, do good deals and be responsible to the people, not beholden to special interests. Do you think that message has been resonating well, and have you seen that in terms of the feedback and some of your internal polling?
Well, listen, I certainly hope so. And I joked a second ago that I'm a civilian in this process, and I have to say, taking kind of a front row seat to this whole thing, I'm disgusted by how corrupt Washington, D.C. is. It's horrible. The amount of money these politicians make, the amount of money that the special interests make, the amount of money that the special interest can raise for a candidate, and you're seeing that with Hillary's campaign, the amount of money that she's raising. Why are they doing that? They're not doing that because they love a person's personality or that they're charming. They're doing that because they get things in return for it. And look at the problems we have as a nation, right? We have $20 trillion worth of debt. It's gone up $11 trillion under Obama, $20 trillion worth of debt. We have an educational system that's a total nightmare in this country. It's ranked 30th in the world. Reading comprehension is 34th. Math skills is 37th. We have a depleted military. Median income in this country hasn't gone up in 15 years. People are making less money today than they were 15 years ago. Obamacare is a total disaster. We've lost all of our manufacturing, 70,000 factories we've lost in the last 15 years from this nation. I mean, what are our politicians doing for us? I mean, what are they doing for us? They're impeding small businesses. They're not fixing any of the problems we have. They're spending trillions and trillions of dollars. I mean, we've spent $6 trillion in the Middle East fighting wars. And every time you turn on the paper, the news, look what's happening in Syria and Libya and Iraq and all these places.
And exporting jobs and production and manufacturing and money essentially out of the country. But let's talk about this contract with America, your father that he made and gave a tremendous speech going over the things that he specified that he wants to do the first 100 days in office. How much planning, thought went into that? Some people said, listen, it was fantastic. They love it. They've been dying to hear these type of things. They would have liked to have heard it sooner, earlier on in the campaign, sometime around September. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, listen, first of all, I was so proud of him as a son watching that. I mean, I think he absolutely nailed it. He absolutely nailed it. And I love how we, quite frankly, started about anti-corruption measures. We're going to make sure any person who is in the White House can never lobby on behalf of a foreign government because you see the problems. I mean, you see this whole $12 million deal with
Sure.
Hillary, where the foreign country, the head of Morocco, the king of Morocco, is giving Hillary $12 million to come to a country. I mean, you see this dirty, dirty money. You see all the problems with these lobbyists. You see the corruption firsthand that's in Washington, D.C. And I love how he started there. But then his message is, the all-American message that everybody wants. We want jobs in this country. Hillary campaigned in New York State for Senate on the promise that she was going to bring 200,000 jobs to upstate New York. She didn't bring a single job. In fact, by the time she got out of the Senate in New York State, upstate New York had lost an additional 8,000 jobs. Now she's going around saying that she's going to create 10 million new jobs. If she couldn't create a single job in New York, how is she going to create 10 million jobs for this country? So my father's going to get the strongest military that this country has ever seen. He's going to create jobs. He's going to bring back manufacturing. He's going to lower taxes for every single citizen of this country because we're the highest taxed people in the world. He's going to fix Obamacare. I mean, premiums under Obamacare have gone crazy. He's going to fix that. He's going to stop drugs pouring over the border. He's going to take care of our immigration problem. He's going to appoint great conservative Supreme Court justices. I mean, he's going to actually do it.
We've made those promises and specified these things, and there's been some ups and downs in the campaign, but it seems that every time that there might be a problem or something that comes forward, he's able to bounce back. How do you feel right now tonight as we sit here with just a couple weeks left until the country decides? How do you feel your chances are, especially with some of the polls, some of the key battleground states that you guys are trailing?
Well, listen, clearly I'm biased, right? I mean, I could never say I'm not biased, but I do feel tremendous love and tremendous energy and something that has blown me away, meaning the enthusiasm on the ground is just incredible. And I'm not seeing it on the other side. I'm not seeing the enthusiasm on the other side. Every single day I hear from Democrats. I've been a Democrat my entire life. And myself and my entire family is going to vote for your father. I hear from union members who come out and say, listen, we've been in unions for a long time. We've never voted Republican. We're all coming out for you. And I hear from other people who say, listen, I'm ashamed to say this, Eric, but I haven't voted in 50 years. I've never voted before, and I'm coming out for your father. So I see those. Then you see the LA Times poll. You see the
daily tracking polls, that and like IBD, you guys tend to be doing pretty well in it in the campaign. I think
IBD, which is the most accurate poll in the last election cycle, and we're up 2 points in that. LA Times, we've got a great lead. I don't know. I feel really, really, really good. And listen, the mainstream media will put us down. They always do. They jump to conclusions. I think we're going to surprise a lot of people. I mean, he's running against the greatest political machine in the history of the world.
Right.
Unlimited super PAC money. I mean, just unlimited money. Dirty politics. You see these videos that have come out, and the WikiLeaks and everything that's happening.
Does that bother you guys at all? Well, sometimes you feel like none of this sticks, no matter how much corruption gets thrown up against the wall, exposed in that campaign, and does it resonate?
I hope it bothers everybody because, honestly, I think it's disgusting. I mean, I really do. When you have a paid DNC operative, one of the top people who had been to the White House 340 times, and he's on hidden camera bragging about how he incited riots in Chicago, I don't know how a person like that's not in jail. I mean, and you know what, Kimberly, for my generation, I'm an old millennial, right? No one in my generation wants to go into politics because they see this nonsense, and it's so sad. I mean, these people are worse than anybody can ever imagine, and I can tell you my father will clean up the system.
All right, well, he certainly has the stamina. We appreciate you being here with us tonight.
Thank you so much for everything.
Always a pleasure. All right.